I was thinking about loud comedians the other day. Whatever happened to Gilbert Gottfried?
He died.
He died.
Oh, no.
Where were you?
I guess I was under a rock. Did he die in the pandemic?
No.
He died of cancer.
But when?
Last year?
Okay, so recently. It hasn't been like I missed out on this years ago. It's just something that all these people have been dying lately, and I just can't keep up with all of like my favorite people.
Yeah.
Not my favorite people, but like, you know.
Are you going to ask me about Sam Kinison next?
I was going to say,
No!
he's the first.
Oh! I know. I like Sam Kinison, even though other people hate him. I don't know if I like him. I found him amusing at the time.
Andrew Dice Clay's still around, but his career might be dead.
Hey!
Ah!
You can't say that.
Snapperhead, I got you!
Exactly, Snapperhead. Snapperhead. God, that was a really good movie. I'm glad we watched that.
Wow.
I'm thinking about the sets right now. I don't know how much that was sarcasm.
I'm thinking about the koala.
That koala, it grew on you by the end. At first, it was weird as shit.
He's eating potato chips.
By the end, that was a pretty good puppet. And you're like, please don't be hanging from the ceiling fan like that, Mr. Koala Bear. Hey, will you get that?
Hello, last video store on the left. You're looking for a man? You're looking for a man? You're looking for a man to hug and kiss. Okay. Maybe think about that for a little bit and call me back and try to... Yeah, it's not working. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Do I want to know what that was about?
Is that the same kid that called last week and asked if we had Prince Valiant in a can?
I don't get the Prince Valiant in a can.
Prince Albert.
Prince Albert?
It was like tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a 70s joke.
Oh, it's a 70s
Yeah.
joke. Well, I wasn't alive.
I like
in
the Prince
70s.
Valium, though, in a can.
Well,
That's
Prince
kinda-
Valium is from
Spaceballs.
Was it a brewery this weekend down in Miami? And they definitely has a lot of Star Wars stuff around, including a carbonite hun.
Wow.
Shut up.
Turn in your nerd card.
I know. Stop it. I didn't mean it like that. Stop. That wasn't even where
They
I
had
was
a
going.
kryptonite Spock.
Stop it. That's not where I was even going. Where was I even going with this? Now you
Kryptonite Spock ears made out of
because I make
adamantium.
because I make one wrong comment and now
Buck Rogers was so good in Battlestar. Oh my God.
beady.
I love Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh, he was in Star Wars, wasn't he?
Hey, what are you guys up to today?
Oh, Mayor, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you, too. You guys get over your potty mouth symptoms from last week.
Nah, we always got potty mouth.
That's good to hear. Hey, you know who has great potty mouth? It's, girls in Thailand. At least I think they're girls.
What are you even talking about, Mayor?
I was overseas. I'm a sailor. Did I mention that before?
No, I didn't realize you were a sailor, like in the Navy.
You don't listen to what people tell you. That's not good.
Yeah.
That hurts my feelings.
Okay, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. So you were in the Navy?
Hey, you want to see what's in my bag today?
Always.
It's called Purple Nurple. That's what the man told me. It's called purple. And then he twisted my nipples. And I don't understand, so I punched him in the face, and now I'm here. There might be policemen walking around outside.
Well, why don't you leave the purple nurple with us and go hide in the back room?
Hey, it's pretty good. It's got triple sec around blue Kirkuses and cranberry juice.
That sounds delicious. Well, go lay low for a little while, Mayor, and you can hide out.
I'm in the back. Wow, that's fucking delicious.
You know how they have
Oh, that is good.
comedy driving school?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're doing improv couples therapy,
Okay.
where the couples they pull characters out of a hat to work through their issues.
Wow,
Okay.
that's funny.
That's funny.
What are you saying?
Are you making this up? It sounds like an improvised scene to me. What were your suggestions?
Go to your where.
That's not even a thing. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, what do we got on the shelves today? Well, let's
We're
put
gonna be
something
doing
good in.
some. Oh, hello.
Hi, welcome to the last video store on the left.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I've been wandering around here. I don't know where I am.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm glad you wandered in then.
You're in the last video store on the left.
You guys have videos, huh?
yeah. Whatever you want.
What are you in the mood for? Can we recommend something?
I mean, maybe.
Okay, so what are you feeling today?
You know, something, probably like sci-fi.
I thought he was going to say your tits.
Wow.
That would have been horrible, and then I would have kicked him out. So I'm really glad you didn't, sir. What is your name?
I don't like to give that out.
Okay,
That's
understandable.
fine. We
That's
have
cool.
a whole anonymous section in our computer database. So
Yeah, we'll put redacted if we ever need to refer to you. So you said sci-fi, huh? All right. Well,
yeah, we might
so
have something. sorta.
Sci-fi, like, current, old, like real old.
I mean, can I have like, I remember Barbarella and,
Oh wow.
something with nice outfits like that.
Oh, nice outfits,
Skin
Beautiful.
tight.
skin tight.
And now that you brought up kryptonite, I'm thinking superhero week.
Jesus, I'm sorry, I made one wrong. Carbonite.
So since she brought up adamantium, adamantium
No.
space.
Yeah, carbonite. That's like
Space nuts.
Superman's like weakness.
I think it was Captain Kirk's. His shield was made of it.
So anyway, since I can't be forgiven for my one slip of the tongue, I think we have a movie that might fit what you're looking for.
Because
sir.
it's out there, man. It is out there, and it kind of feels like it could be real sci-fi.
Yeah, and it has a timeless feel to it. It's
And
not quite set in
And I
anywhere. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Are we ready? 1996, The Phantom,
starring Billy Zane.
Bum, bum, bum.
as a 1930s comic book character. So I feel like this is the beginning of like the genre.
Not to be that guy,
Please be that guy.
but he was a comic strip character.
Oh,
Correct.
thank you. Thank
not
you.
a comic book character.
I didn't know that, so
So
I'm
it's
glad
not
you.
comparable to like the Shadow.
It is very much so. They all came out around the same time. The Shadow,
Batman.
the Phantom. There was another one. And they got even more ridiculous, and they all kind of did the same thing.
Well, he has a horse and a wolf, the Phantom, which is kind of unusual because he grew up on an island. I don't know where they got those things from, but
Shipwrecks.
oh yeah, shipwrecks.
There was one called the Something Spider too. It was really weird, and it was the same kind of a guy, like a Dick Tracy kind of a type, but weirder. So yeah, they all kind of came out around the same time. But the Phantom, interestingly enough, it was written by the same guy until that guy died, and in like 1999, he wrote all the episodes.
So
all
he
the
was alive
strips.
for this
Oh, wow.
movie.
Yeah,
he was alive to
and
watch
he was
his
the primary
creation.
writer for Be Destroyed. Yeah,
Yeah, he didn't even write this movie though, did he?
I don't think so.
He did not.
No, he
No.
couldn't have.
I guarantee.
And who bought the rights then? Did he sell his rights away? I don't even
Uh-huh.
understand all that now.
I think King Feature Syndicates owns it. And with comic strips.
Oh, he was something that old. He's not going to own that.
Yeah. They had a weird thing where like the syndicate owned the stuff. That's why Peanuts was called Peanuts and not Little Tykes like Charles Schultz wanted.
Okay. So it's like when they owned the actors and actresses,
Yeah.
and you had a
The studio system,
right? The
yeah.
studio
Yeah.
system, the syndicate. It sounds so like menacing, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, like the music industry.
But people get so attached to the writer and the artist that they kind of protect them in a way because they don't like changes. Their daily
Right, it's always
routine.
that creation. It's
Yeah.
always the original's
Yeah.
creation. So yeah, how's that sound, Mr. Redacted?
Yeah, it sounds like a colorful thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very colorful. So the one thing you're going to notice right away is how can I say this without saying ridiculous? How ridiculous everything is.
You could say redonkulous.
That's even more ridic.
Ridiculous.
Can I say ridic?
It's very ridiculous.
Did you just coin ridic?
No, my friend Dina did.
Okay,
No,
'cause
Dina
that's
says
pretty good.
Yeah, no, Dina says ridic all the time, and she's Canadian, so it sounds really innocent and fun. Like she's like,
that's so ridiculous.
No, she's like, it's ridic, right? And it's like funny and cute. And when I say it, it just sounds dirty. That's the way I feel about it.
Because you're not Canadian.
I know. It's because I'm from South
Does
Florida.
not translate.
Everything sounds dirty coming out of my mouth.
From the dirty South.
Yeah, exactly.
So Billy Zane pumped iron for a year to get in shape for this role, and then when they
It
gave
shows.
so they gave him this skin tight suit, but
it's
just-
like nylon. That suit is
Right.
like see-through. It's not even like
but they had like a Batman style suit where it has like enhancements around the muscles, but they didn't need it because he beefed up so much that they ended up just using like regular skin tight suit for him.
Spandex.
So it's all him.
not even spandex. Like it's see-through. It looks like nylon hosiery.
Yeah.
By the end of that movie, you could see the
You could
skull.
see all of the Zane.
Yeah, like
Billy Zane.
it was incredible.
You could see his nipples clearly.
No.
You know, unfortunately, and I'm sure Joel Schumacher's upset, you could not see Billy Zane's nipples.
Why make a movie with a superhero if you can't see his nipples?
I'm out,
Like,
you know.
why?
He had guns, which was weird too. The guns.
There's a lot of guns, like, you know, like the Shadow. The Shadow has guns.
Yeah, those
that other
old-timey
guy,
guys.
and
they
like
were
big,
all-
long, muzzled guns
Yeah,
too.
1911.
But it was like
Yeah.
not a revolver. It wasn't. It was
Yeah.
still like a 30.
No,
anyway.
it was
It
automatic.
looked like
yeah.
a modern gun, but
Yeah.
those came out a long time ago.
Oh my god.
You're right. It was 1911. Yeah,
And
basically.
like his like holsters, like he has like a double. He had like both hips holsters would flop around when he ran. Like have a leg strap or whatever those are called, right? Like belt
he
it
did
down.
he did have leg straps, but they were still flailing out. But he was doing a lot of weird acrobatic stuff. I mean, it's
So weird.
It's crazy.
He
And-
shaved his head for the role so that the suit could be as tight to his head as
Form-fitting.
possible, which is the downfall of Billy Zane, if you ask me.
gonna say.
Because Billy Zane had a great head of
Because
hair.
it's like that Seinfeld episode. After the movie wraps, he's trying to let it grow in, and he's probably like, "Oh my God, what's happening?"
Right, and all of a sudden he's bald and didn't realize it, and he couldn't grow his hair back. So this is a lesson to all of you men. If you shave your head, it's over. So if you want to be
Ouch.
bald-headed for the rest of your life, you just go ahead and shave it off now then.
Look, for the money he made.
What? That is not enough to make up for not having hair for the rest of your life.
All right, maybe not.
Okay, think about everybody
He
crowning
looked
glory.
great. He looked great in the Titanic.
Did he? He looked
Yeah.
a little puffed.
He was supposed to, though.
Okay, and he had
wasn't
fake
supposed
hair.
to be ripped.
He had fake hair.
Did he?
I think so. I totally feel like Billy Zane's always had fake hair since that movie.
So lay the groundwork of what the Phantom is.
Dumb. I mean, it's not dumb. It's definitely a 1930s idea of white.
Swashbuckling,
Yeah.
old-timey, yellow fear,
Yeah.
colonialism.
Colonialism for sure.
Yeah, and
Love it.
hardcore kind of
Johnny.
detective story. Detective
Hardcore?
guy meets super.
Zorro.
Yeah,
meets
meets Zorro.
The Jungle.
I would say Zorro's a massive influence
Jungle
on this
Book.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So
right,
let's talk about exposition. When we start this film, it starts off with the weirdest exposition and weirdest narration. It was kind of confusing about the origins of what happens to bring you up to speed. And it's very weird. And it's about these weird Genghis Khan kind of guys that are mystical. And they attack, they're pirates. And they attack a ship and they kill this kid's father right in front of him. The kid washes up on the shore of this magical jungle island, tropical island, whatever it is, Polynesian, who knows? And
Mangala. What was it called?
Bengala. Yeah.
Bengala.
Which is kind of like Dr. Doom's Latvia. Like, it sounds like a real country, but it's not.
But you got to
Right.
jujule it to make sure.
Right. And then
Have you ever heard of Bengala?
I found it on the map one time. I was looking at an atlas.
right next to Brigadoon.
I think that the mayor served in Bengala.
Yeah, he might have.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, I mean, the tribe, and they take this kid in almost immediately, and they teach him, and they basically tell him.
They put him on like this like traveling like thing,
Yeah.
and they exalt him from the beginning.
And they basically tell him, well, you got to kill everyone now. You realize you have to avenge your father for like the next 400 years. You're going to have to avenge
Avenge your father.
You're going to have to kill everyone that
and they
killed
just
your dad.
gave him this skull ring, this magical skull ring. They just gave it to him. White kid, washed up on their shore. White savior.
Hey, just hear me out, guys. What I'm thinking, the new kid, we should give him the skull ring. I mean, what else are we doing with it?
We've passed it down through the tribe for generations.
We've already
waiting.
avenged our ancestors.
We've filled our quota. It's time to pass it on to another person.
And they passed it on to the white kid because they knew that they were all going to die. That the white people were all going to kill them. It's so awful.
So they pass it on to this kid. The kid, they teach him, they train him, and he learns all of their ideals.
He becomes Batman.
Basically,
Jungle Batman.
Jungle Batman.
And this all happens in like the first 5 minutes.
Well, it's exposition. It's a story.
It had 80 years of continuity to catch people up on, and I think most people at the time, it was such an old strip that it's the strip you flipped past to get to Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, now that you talk about it,
In the family circus.
I think I do remember this as a kid.
Oh, I never read the strip. I remember.
Yeah, but
it.
do you remember the right? You never read it, but it was always there, right?
Oh yeah, it was always there.
Okay, maybe I do because it looked like real soap opera-y, right?
It was like Mary Worth and Prince Valiant. It was like the grown-up
Prince Valiant.
strips.
Yeah, like it was just not funny.
Yeah,
it took
or entertaining or anything.
Yeah, you don't. Oh God, it was. It was like sitting down and watching The Young and the Restless with your grandma there, right?
Well, they didn't have Netflix and Hulu back in the 30s and 40s. So.
Were you gonna say something redacted?
I liked The Young and the Restless when I was young.
You like The Young and the Restless?
Young and the Restless, yeah.
I was more of a One Life to Live guy.
What's
And
the
Dallas.
one with the chick with the big arms?
What are you talking
The
about?
blonde chick?
There's a blonde chick on all of them. Circa what? Is this like General Hospital?
80s, 90s?
Days of Our Lives?
You got me.
She started young, but she was on it forever.
That's
but
all
she
of 'em?
always had like big arms.
I did no.
So
She
the
was pretty,
Phantom,
but had-
speaking of arms, Billy Zane has the biggest arms in the Phantom. It's pretty incredible, actually.
I didn't even notice his arms because his
You didn't
weird-
notice his arms?
No, I didn't notice his arms because that
Come
purple
on.
suit with the stupid belt and the dumb guns.
the belt was awesome.
That was
Okay,
cool.
so-
The suit is kind of...
The suit was amazing.
So what's even
The
happening?
Mask, the mask was...
the mask is what does it.
So
It kills it.
he goes. So then
I don't know
there's-
what's happening. Where'd you go?
I don't know what happened.
So on The Young and the Restless, what happens is...
No, what happens after he gets given the power?
So
We're
then
still
we
at the very beginning.
So then we
Jeez
fast
Louise.
forward to like 1938,
Oh,
around
good.
the same time that
Future time.
Indiana Jones is getting that idol.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned Indiana Jones.
Isn't it?
Because that's all I can think about watching this movie.
Yeah.
Like, they rip off scenes, shots,
Costumes.
everything.
The bridge from Romancing the Stone.
Yeah. And it just goes to show you how much John Williams is worth.
Oh man,
Because the music in this movie, if they had a John Williams score, would be almost chef's kiss. Not quite.
Get
but-
out of here.
No, he's right because like the music is like it does the opposite.
Underwhelming.
It's
Yeah.
underwhelming and it does the opposite. It distracts me.
Yeah.
There's some little kid, like they capture a native kid to go
So,
search
all right,
for the
so-
a
gold.
low
So there's
rent, short
this-
round.
So
Yeah.
this big one of those big trucks that Indiana Jones that steals the ark.
Love them.
But
It's-
I think that Indiana Jones might have taken this from the Phantom. You
Well,
know, because that's been around a lot longer.
it's
so
kind
it's
of a
more likely
weird-
that Steven Spielberg and his cronies.
I see where you're going, and
You know.
you might be right.
It's a weird Mobius strip because you're right, but then the movies got made, and then this got made, and
Right.
they're like, we're gonna borrow back.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So this big
Mobius.
cargo truck comes barreling through the jungle, and there's these two guys in it, and they're trying to find something that's important that they're being paid for, and they're going to try to find it. And there's a little kid, like Short Round, in the front seat, guiding them where to go. And they give him something to like a map. Oh, and he's like, yeah, and he's
Oh, it's upside down.
And it's an
and-
old timey pirate map that
Yeah.
nobody could possibly
So the
read.
kid's translating the pirate map, and it actually would be a funny scene if it was directed well. And it's
Yeah.
directed like complete dog shit. Because
and they
that-
shouldn't be having the kids speak some nonsense gobbledygook.
They went full native,
Yeah.
where Spielberg knew not to go
Yeah.
Full native. Yeah. You
But, I
gotta
mean,
make him speak English.
You got to make them cute, and
You can't-
precocious.
Yeah, it
But
can't
they
make up
didn't-
Bengalese, right?
I don't
and
think
not to
that-
be confused with Bengalese.
I don't think that they knew what they wanted this movie to be. They didn't know if they wanted it to be campy. They didn't know if they wanted it to be like dark and serious with a hint of humor. They just didn't know where they were going. And that opening scene with those three people in that truck, because you got Casey Sizemasco, who's a great character actor from the 80s and early 90s.
Was he the driver?
No, that was Warriors. That's
Oh, really?
He was also in Sex and the City. He was Samantha's.
He was supposed to play Michael Bean's character in James Remar.
Okay.
That's James Remar, who was a great actor.
Yeah, Sex and the City.
I thought he was a low-rent Kurgan from Highlander.
Oh, funny.
I can't think of that.
Clancy
first
Brown.
name.
Clancy Brown, yeah.
Low Rent Kurgan, I don't even think they paid Clancy Brown. He worked for Peanuts.
Probably for that.
He was
low
just,
rent.
He was just happy to do it.
He worked to be a legend.
He said working 2 weeks with Sean Connery was like a full
Hell yeah.
year of school.
Agree.
Let's take a master class from Sean Connery.
So there's a scene where you got Casey Sizemasco and you got James Remar in a truck, and they're both fine actors, but they look like they've never done anything in their life, and it's because of the pacing, and it's because of what the director's telling them to do, and it's so over the top, the dialogue and everything. It's just so off-putting.
It's another one of those things
weird.
that starts at 11. Everybody starts at 11.
Well, had it started at 11, I think it would have worked like old-time radio drama.
Yeah.
That's a controlled 11.
But it was like a 7 or a 6 where it wasn't low-key and it wasn't big enough.
Right.
Where, if it's big enough, it'd be, all right, let's...
The fact that he threw that
right.
elbow towards
Get
that
that
little
Roscoe.
kid...
And it was poorly timed. And first of all, are you
God.
really going to elbow a kid in the face?
That's what I mean. Like, he
What's
throws
wrong with
this
you?
horrible hard elbow. It would have broken that kid's, like,
Yeah, you would have
whole
murdered this
Yeah,
kid.
it would have just shattered the front of that kid's face.
It's like a bad choice, guys. Let's regroup and like maybe try to smack him in the head, and he ducks and you smack your partner. That's
Why don't you
funny.
as actors kind of figure something out together?
Yeah,
We'll get
just throw in some Three Stooges. You're good.
Yeah, we'll get the stage combat guy in here. The stunt coordinator.
Obviously, the director didn't see this, and it was just like, oh man. And then it goes from bad to worse because then there's a horrible bridge they got to go over, and so they all walk over, and they have the
They
kid.
steal. Anyway, let's keep
They have the kid drive over. It's a horrible set piece because it takes way too long.
It's this rickety bridge.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
Hung up
and
by
he has
vines.
you got to
They-
drive the truck over.
None of the guys want to drive over it because it looks like a death trap.
Yeah.
So they, in a comic beat, make the kid drive over it. And the kid makes
he weighs less. So.
He does weigh
That's
less.
a good point.
That is why. So the funny thing about when you watch this film, the funny thing about it is, almost every couple of minutes, you're wondering, the motivations behind it are, we really got to tie this into the McDonald's Happy Meal, boys. We got to tie this into the Universal Studios theme park ride. Like everything, it looks like it's done so in such a contrived way that they're trying to get that crossover McDonald's promotion or something. It's so terrible.
Yeah, and that was 1996. So
They did not get that promotion, and if they did, if you have those cups, you got to keep those.
they make it into the
Temple.
the X. They make the X marks the spot. They make it to the X marks
They
the
get
spot.
the MacGuffin.
Yeah, and of course some guy dies by being choked out
by a skeleton.
Yeah, because they touched his gold skull.
That was never explained because that was kind of, I guess, mystical.
Yeah, they never. Yeah, they just dropped
They
that.
never explained it, and it never comes back.
So they get the skull, and they don't know what else they're trying to get. He's like, take everything, and it's like, okay, this is just kind of weird. Like, it's just, nothing seems to connect. It's really fun and interesting to watch because you're like, how the fuck what is happening? What is happening here? And they get away, and they're getting away, and then all of a sudden, I swear to God, there's this part of the woods that's just set up like it's like in a back lot somewhere. Like Pee Wee Herman just went through it with his bike.
Because it was.
Yeah, because it was. And this guy on his horse just leaps out of nowhere.
Oh
this
my God.
purple outfit on a white horse, and his wolf comes with him. And there's
The gayest outfit you could ever think of in 1938.
He just needed a feather. Like if he had a feather
Oh
on
my
top of that, he could have pranced around like a pony. Oh my
I'd
God!
watch that.
Okay,
With
like
that
that's a
horse
game.
from Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
The Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yes, exactly. Prance. That he was in his Pride Parade outfit is what he was in.
like everyone that encountered this Phantom, the fact that they didn't have like a 30-second moment where they just stared at him and kind of laughed, that was a missed opportunity because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, because you can't take him seriously,
No.
right? When he shows up in the purple outfit, like it is a purple head to toe outfit. It's crazy. And then he has one of these little like Lone Ranger eye things.
They messed up because they should have kept him in the shadows of the jungle.
Yeah.
And so they should have had like a sweaty, like tense walk through the jungle. People are like getting bit by mosquitoes and it's hot. And they're getting scraped by vines.
Yeah, the ghost who walks. They need to make him a ghost who walks,
and
not
then have
jumps
the shadow
in.
Or the phantom take him off one by one.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, he needs to be a phantom.
Just because you have a purple outfit, when you translate that from the comic strip to the film, you can make it a cooler, darker purple. Like, you don't have to make it like hello purple. Like
you can Snyder cut it.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Although I did watch it, so anyway, the Snyder Cut. So, anywho, the Phantom doesn't sneak up on anybody. He comes in horse and wolf blazing, kills a bunch of people or takes them out or something, and then the guy driving.
They punch him straight out of Indiana Jones.
Oh,
3,
it's
where he like opens the door and punches the guy. Like,
so the guy's
That's
just like,
straight
oh,
up.
the kid says to them before this, you got to turn around, you can't, it's cursed, and he does this on his face, and he's got this scar of a skull.
They
from
never
the skull ring.
explain.
It's from the skull ring.
That's from the comic.
Yeah.
I think he
has
had
2 rings.
skull rings,
Yeah.
and he would like mark people by punching.
Yeah,
them.
because there was somebody else who had the skull scar.
They've been
it's
marked.
like branding. I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're now a villain, and you'll be a villain for the rest of your life because I punched you in the face.
That was kind of his shtick. Though,
No, it doesn't mean you're going to be a villain. It just means
It's true.
You're
property,
marked.
Yeah.
You're marked. Like,
I think
you're
that
branded like
I think
a cow.
Quentin Tarantino did it better when he did the Bowie knife to the forehead. That was kind of... You may take off that uniform, but...
He lost some of the subtlety of the skull ring.
Yeah, a
So,
little bit.
So does he ride the horse?
He rides the hell out of that white
And
horse.
does
It's crazy.
the wolf, does it just run alongside him or sit on his lap?
Yeah, no, the wolf rides along. In fact, they chase down a helicopter or something with the airplane.
We'll
The
get to
plane.
it.
Well,
Put a pin in
we
that.
better get to
Oh,
that.
man.
Let's get to
The
that.
horse and the wolf.
So this
and a
is
seaplane.
We're going to be jumping around because honestly, it's very convoluted and there's a lot going on. So this will not be linear.
There's a lot of back and forth from New York to.
So now there's like a
Bengali.
rich family that there's a daughter and she owns a newspaper. Her dad owns the newspaper. Oh, it's so convoluted. And there's
So
a rich
uncle.
guy in
during
town.
this before we get to that, during this whole skirmish in the woods, he opens this guy's forearm and he sees that he's got a spider web tattoo and it freaks him out.
And the guy's like, I already killed you once. Oh, how are you still alive? So they think that the Phantom's
He's
immortal,
immortal.
right? And so then the Phantom goes back to his hideout and he's got a little
He's got a pretty sweet hideout.
Yeah, he's got a little servant that he yells at for trying to treat his medical issues, his injuries. I was so mad when he yelled at the servant. I'm like, bro, he's just trying to help you.
Yeah.
How did
His
he get
wong.
a servant?
It's his Wong, from
the
Doctor
shadow
Strange.
knows. Oh wait.
Anyway, whatever he
It's
is,
his Renfield.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
colonialism. It's colonialism.
And then
they
he
moved
talks-
in.
Not all colonialists had a servant.
Well, he did, and he knew all of the people that were living on Bengala, and
They
he
were
would
his friends, the rope people.
the rope, like an ROPE. I didn't realize this.
It's
there was-
rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're French.
But he was part of the colonists. He went and helped the British soldiers in their butter yellow outfits.
Okay, so we're getting off track again. So he's in here and he's getting patched up because the guy stabbed him in the bus thing, and he's talking to his dad. His dad's played by Braveheart King
Longshanks.
Longshanks. Yeah, Patrick McGowan.
McGowan.
What you going over there?
There's a lot of character actors in this movie, by the way. It was pretty cool. You got Joe Ragno and David Proval. They're both in Shawshank Redemption. David Proval's been in a ton of shit. Anyway, he's talking to his dad, and it turns out, oh, he's a ghost. But is he really a ghost, or is he really there? Is this guy crazy?
It's kind of
Spoiler: he's a ghost.
Black Panther.
Yeah, kind of a thing, yeah. So then we get to New York, and we see this rich family, and they were stealing this thing, and they find another spider web insignia. So much of the actual plot that's described to us is so convoluted and weird. It doesn't make any sense. This needed a few rewrites.
There's a up-and-coming businessman, Xander
Drax.
Which is the
He's not up and coming. He
dumbest
is.
name.
He's like,
dumbest name.
and then he spells it out too
Yeah.
at one point, and I'm like, bro, please.
Which
And
is
then he says an X at the beginning and an X at the end.
Oh, I wanted to
Yeah.
punch him in his dumb face.
And the funny thing is like, so the screenplay was written by Lee Falk, who is the comic book guy, I think.
Oh, really?
But also Jeffrey Boehm probably
Okay.
did the
Yeah.
most of it.
Isn't he the director?
No, Jeffrey Boehm wrote Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Actually, that
Oh,
was
wow.
that was the movie that was just like he didn't have to work anymore after that. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm shocked. Like he's done some good stuff, and it's just like, man, how can you
Maybe-
write this?
It's because he stole the good stuff for Indy.
Well,
Oh,
maybe
there you
Now
go.
he couldn't use it again.
he respected the writer
True,
so much.
that's
he
what I
didn't
agree.
wanna
Maybe.
rework.
But it
too
was
much
his
of it.
idea to do
Bullshit.
the Xander Drax. He wrote in the Xander Drax thing, which is played by Treat Williams.
Horribly.
With a mustache.
I mean, talk about over the top. Oh my god.
I feel like they like the thing like you were talking about earlier, like you put glasses on the pretty girl and she's a nerd. I feel like they put a mustache on Treat Williams and now he's a bad guy.
villain, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, he's still like Treat Williams. His name's Treat. Like
he looks
I don't
like a treat.
Yeah, I've never thought of him as a bad guy. And those dimples, and he's like trying to dimple his way around the mustache. And I'm like, nah, I don't get it.
So we also got Christy Swanson, who plays the female lead, which is pretty cool.
What else has she been in? 'Cause
Buffy
she
the
looks
Vampire
so
Slayer.
Yeah,
She's
Buffy.
original Buffy.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's
The
been in a-
Chase with Charlie Sheen. She was actually in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. She had one.
Okay.
She had one line.
I know.
I
who
heard
she
from my best
was,
friend's
too.
cousin's sister's boyfriend. Yeah.
The first caller gets $100 if you can name that line
Name what line?
from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Her
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, name that line.
What do you mean
First
name
caller,
it?
folks.
Like say the line, all the whole line?
I heard
Oh.
from my sister's brother's cousin. who
Yeah, I don't know
dated
all of
blah,
them.
blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
no, we don't have any
He passed
callers.
out at 31 Flavors last week.
Oh, I bet you could do it.
Good.
Oh, hello, everyone. How are you?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just, making the rounds, getting out, seeing the world.
Nice. That's nice.
Ooh, it's steamy in here.
Yeah, it is steamy in here. I don't think the air conditioning works in here
Now,
anymore.
you guys always have something going on. It's so fun to check it out.
Yeah, it is, isn't it, Mark?
My house is like an ice box.
Oh.
So this is kind of nice. It feels warm and cozy, but, I wouldn't want to live in it.
Yeah, you don't have to rub it in. I mean, would you please go ahead and see what you'd like to
Wow,
rent?
somebody's trying to get rid of me today. It must be the heat.
It's hot in here, Margaret.
Mildred,
wow.
we can't even remember your name.
Well, you guys are crazy today. I think I'm just going to walk off in the other room.
I'm sorry, Mildred. I'm
you're
sorry.
all right.
Johnny, I realized I said the wrong name, okay? I was going to apologize.
It's the jungle heat in here. It's like there's a purple man chasing me.
Can you imagine wearing purple nylon in the jungle? What a
God.
dumb outfit to wear in the jungle.
Right.
Oh, it's hot.
You're really gonna stick out.
No wonder you're punching people.
Yeah, you're angry. Just take it off, man.
So somehow or another we find out about
Oh, it's an exposition dump.
Yeah.
At the
Xander
party?
Drax, that Xander
Yeah.
Drax
And
is
Christy Swanson's dad. Yeah.
a terrible person. Her uncle.
yeah,
He lays it all out to the mayor
and the police chief.
The police
yeah, because the
chief.
police are on the take.
yeah.
Yeah, of Xander Drax.
And it turns out that the police are in his pocket, so he.
That's what I just said on the
squeals.
take. I just said on the take. Yeah, I said on the
He
take.
sings like a stoolie.
It's getting hot in here.
So
Do you have any questions so far, Redacted?
I mean, there's a lot of questions, but hopefully they'll get answered.
So he discovers that there's something bad going on, and
Who,
he
the Phantom?
no, Christy
The
Swanson's
uncle.
uncle.
Okay, because we're talking about
the
the
rich
Phantom.
guy. No, we're talking
the
about
newspaper publisher.
So-
who's not William
Newspaper. The
Randolph Hearst.
uncle who's Hearst.
talking to
Oh, that
the
guy was a douche.
talking to the police commissioner and the mayor, and he confides in them, which is a mistake because they're obviously in the pocket of blah,
On the
blah, blah,
take. They're on the take.
blah. You got that? You okay?
Well, why did you say that? Not in the pocket. I just wanted to say on the take and not in the
You're
pocket.
so hip. Hey, why don't you try to get us some crack? Go down the street, see what you can do, because you're so hip. Down, man. So
You sang like a stoolie.
So the uncle's not hip. He's not saying on the take.
He wasn't hep to that.
He wasn't
guy.
hip to that scene, man.
Cat.
He wasn't a hep cat.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
now
I'm sorry, redacted.
so
This
now-
happens in the heat.
So now Spencer Xander Drax, Xander Drax is like, okay, boys, hit him where it hurts, and they
So he takes their money.
plans to
I'm
go
just
down to
kidding.
the island and do something. Like I said, it's very convoluted, but Christy Swanson's gonna go. I'll go, Uncle, and she goes. So then she gets intercepted. They kidnap her, but she's got like some letter that she found in the
How'd they
vault.
kidnap her though?
Is it the letter A?
They
It's a
flew
spider
out a
web
plane.
tattoo. It's like a spider web elbow tattoo.
That's all it is. It's a spider web. Like
It just
like,
isn't on their elbow,
It's a
but it looks
design.
like it.
It's like if you went to a tattoo parlor and
It
you're
is.
like,
It's a
I want
flash.
Pretty
So if
sweet
you get all
It's
the people
Flash.
together that have these tattoos, it'll make a picture.
that would be awesome, but no.
No, it's like their bat symbol. Once you see it, you're like, oh, here, I know you're one of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
So she's flying down to Bengali and
Lala.
whatever, and her plane gets attacked by like biplanes with machine guns, but they don't shoot it down. They just force it down, and then once it's on the ground, they walk in and kidnap.
They get raided by a bunch of women. All of a
Women-
sudden, it
was very
becomes.
Sky
air
Captain.
pirates. Yeah.
Oh,
Women
see,
air pirates.
It felt like Canned Heat. It felt like the beginning of like a Showtime porno in the middle of the night. It felt like all of a
I'm
sudden
sure there's one out there.
a bunch of women with guns.
Guy
In
Captain.
aviator
Yes,
outfits.
in aviator, like 1930s aviator outfits.
So the chief aviator is none other than Catherine Zeta-Jones,
who
which is
has a
pretty awesome.
chance to Wonder Woman pull her hair out of a bun, shake it loose, because
Well, she's contractually obligated to do that in every
Yeah.
movie.
I believe that. I believe that because she probably did it in
And
Zorro.
plus, all
a
the
few
studio
times.
execs were like, yes, this scene. Yes.
Do you mind if we come to set that day and just whack off while you do this, take after take?
Was this her first big role?
I'm not sure.
But she
First
had
movie?
her, she still had her UK accent a little bit, which was nice because her her American accent's garbage.
It's better than yours.
My American accent's pretty good.
So they kidnap her.
Unpassable.
So they kidnap her. They take her to like a steamer ship.
Steamer, old timey.
Yeah, like they
River
apparently
Queen.
they land their biplanes on the steamer and they take her there. And then I don't know. Then the Phantom finds out that they've got her. So
And then he
he's-
goes, Christy Swanson or whatever the fuck her name is. What's her name? Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh yeah, they know each other apparently.
Yeah, and he gets
Obviously,
all
they know each
excited that like Debbie Watson or whoever the fuck she is
other. Walker, I think something. Walker.
is been
No, that's
kidnapped.
his name.
Palmer.
His name is Kit Walker.
And then he's gonna go save her. So he gets his purple jumpsuit on.
Oh, you're right. It's Diana Palmer. Good job.
Oh.
Somebody paid attention,
So, what happens?
and somebody's
next?
not paying attention.
No, y'all interrupted my thoughts.
He saves her, and he busts in.
Oh, he busts in because
He's
wait,
like,
he busts
"Stick
into
'em
the.
up, gentlemen.
He breaks into the ladies' gym. The ladies like
With his guns
Locker
drawn,
room.
and then you have a reverse, and it's like all the chick pilots that are in the shower. It's like a Porky's shower scene with guns. It's so ridiculous.
with girls.
and they're like, "Oh!"
And then he's like, "Oh, sorry, ladies," and then he goes out again, and
And
then
then a lady tries to shoot him.
yeah, so he
'Cause they're
runs.
pirates.
And he jumps into a chute, and the chute delivers him right where he needs to be, which is in the room with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Christy Swanson.
Right before Catherine Zeta-Jones takes it out on Christy Swanson. So no boys get to see that cat fight.
Yeah.
So instead of a cat fight, Billy Zane saves the day in his purple outfit.
But not before some really weird attempted like over the top humor that was like, where did this come from all of a sudden?
Blanche from Golden Girls wasn't as horny as Catherine Zeta-Jones was in this movie.
Oh my God, she makes a reference later about how the only reason that she knows he's in love with Christy Swanson's character is because he didn't want to have sex with her.
Yeah.
And they just kept saying, okay, really? And she's like, no, really, I'm telling you. This is how I know he's in love
He
with her.
didn't want to have sex with me. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, her character's, she's so unwatchable to me. She's hot, but shut her up.
Yeah, I feel I've loved everyone that I've had sex with.
What happened?
Yeah.
You just want him to shut up?
No.
So Christy Swanson gets let go. She goes back with
No, they
Purple
get
Boy.
they get out of the room. She knocks out Catherine Zeta-Jones. They get out of the room, and now James Remar and the boys surround them with guns. Oh, what are you gonna do now? We got you guys. Ha ha!
Oh wait, we forgot about how he got on the boat. He
Hilarious.
shimmies up the rope from the dock to the boat.
Yeah,
while
a guy
they're
in a
loading
big
the
bright,
boat.
a guy in a big bright purple outfit
Yeah.
is literally shimmying on a massive
in the
rope
middle of the day.
In the middle of the
it's
day.
not nighttime.
Oh, it is the daytime, huh?
Oh,
It's
day.
daytime.
Okay.
Yeah, daytime.
The
And
Dark Knight, he is not. He is somebody would have been like, "Hey, there's a dude in a purple outfit coming up on the boat."
They're hardworking men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be afraid of a purple outfit,
Yeah,
dude.
this was during the Great Depression.
Yeah. So after that, they get in there. They're trapped by James Remar and the crazy boys from the jungle, and all of a sudden now his wolf, who's named Devil, comes to save him and jumps on the boys, and then they get away. Run back into the woods with Christy Swanson. Jumps on his horse. Actually, they take a plane? I think they jump into a plane.
They jump into the brightest, reddest plane,
He could find.
and so Devil meets up with the horse, and they do like a Timmy's in the Well bit, and the horse like nods at Devil.
Oh my God,
and
I
they
forgot
just
about
take
that.
off. They take off as fast as they can, and you don't know why, but it soon becomes apparent.
Yeah.
And then the most convoluted
Escape.
escape. You know how in movies they'll show like a time bomb? It'll be like 8 seconds. And then for like 2 minutes, the hero's fighting with the villain.
Yeah, it's a little montage of
And then
fighting
they'll cut
to
back
escape.
to the time bomb.
And 1 second
it's-
passed.
Yeah,
2 seconds
yeah.
passed.
5 seconds maybe. Well, that's how it was with the plane with the horse, because the horse is running because it knows that the Phantom is going to need to get off that plane. And so it takes off, and they show the horse running, and the horse is so far behind the plane. It's like a mile behind. And they keep like doing cuts and
Oh
stuff.
my God. It takes forever.
And the horse gets closer, and then the Phantom's...
Well, he could be like Shadowfax, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
fair enough. Maybe because it is a solid white horse, maybe it's a descendant of Shadowfax. Maybe 20 generations ago it was Shadowfax. But yeah, what they needed to do, again, I'm rewriting this movie, is to do like a big loop-de-loop, because the plane's running out of fuel, and so they can't land it. So what they needed to do was do a big loop-de-loop to give the horse time to get underneath him.
Right.
And he could have been like, we're not going to make it. The horse is back there. We got to give him more time.
Yeah.
And then done
That would have been clever, yeah.
Is the wolf with him
Yes.
on the plane?
You don't.
So when he
No.
jumps up
No,
the
the
plane,
wolf
he's-
is
The wolf-
running, keeping up with the horse.
Yeah.
Oh,
basically.
I would have jumped on the back of the horse if I were the wolf. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, you don't see the wolf. You see the wolf get off the boat, and then the wolf gallops into the wilderness. But then later, the wolf miraculously is caught up with everyone and is just there. But one thing that the Phantom doesn't notice is they're shooting at them as they get in this biplane, and they riddle the wings, and fuel starts pouring out, and he never notices. It's like, why
They
would
don't store fuel in the wings of biplanes.
Well,
It's
this
loud
one
up
they
there.
did.
It's loud.
They didn't even
It's
take
in the
off.
It's in the script. I get you.
Yeah, it's in the script. That's this one they did. So anyway, yeah, this sequence goes on far too long. They needed to cut this real quick. It goes on so long. I feel like it's like a third of the movie. And finally, the horse gets under him. He jumps on it, and then
He tells the lady, Palmer, he's like, see that pontoon? And I'd be like, what the fuck's a pontoon?
get
She's
on
like,
it.
Yeah. And she's like getting hit by branches and stuff.
Yeah,
It's a mess.
it is a mess. It is a mess. And it's funny because when you watch it, you're like, all right, how did they do this? They didn't have CGI really for the most part. So they had
The worst rear screen.
yeah,
projection.
it was so
It's like
it was
It's the cat.
yeah, all things considered, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
But they did a profile shot where they showed like the horse running and the plane running, and that was actually done fairly well.
Yeah, considering
Effects-wise.
yeah.
Effects-wise.
But
it
the
was
whole
totally ridiculous.
But the whole thing took way too long, and they
Yeah.
finally get down on the horse, and the plane flies into the mountain and blows up,
like Indiana Jones.
just like Indiana Jones. Redonkulous. And then he takes her to his lair,
His clubhouse.
His clubhouse.
To show off. And the first thing he does is he's like, wait here. And their whole dichotomy kind of changed because at first she was like ultra sassy, and then
She's a damsel in distress all of a sudden.
no, she was more Princess Leia from Battlestar. But now that he saved her, she's like, oh, it's pretty cool.
Is that the one with the Klingons?
Yes.
Okay.
So he
And the
goes
Muppets.
and gets her a necklace, pearl necklace, and
Really hilarious.
and I try and give all my ladies a pearl necklace, if you know what I'm saying.
Whether they want it or not.
They always want it.
Lisa Simpson had a pearl necklace. What do you mean?
Oh,
Oh yeah, so did Marge.
Whoa.
Like mother,
Whoa.
like daughter.
Wow.
Yeah,
so
but
did
Marge is an
Betty,
adult.
and so did Wilma.
All right, let's get back on track.
but he. So
Josie
you
and the
see
Pussycats?
his treasure room.
That's not a euphemism.
Is that what he calls it? I saw that movie. It was called 50 Shades of Grey.
But it's like this Addams Family treasure room. Like
Yeah.
he's never has to work for money again.
So did you
Because he's the
steal all that?
Phantom.
Yeah.
It's from all the pirates. He
That's right.
pirated from.
That's true. You pirated
He's
like
kinda
Robin
like
Hood.
the Punisher, but for pirates.
Right.
Or Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. So
I mean, how much did Robin Hood really pocket?
True.
You know, I wonder.
Probably not that much.
Enough to-
Made
enough-
million.
Well, she was expensive.
The Phantom.
yeah. I mean he kept enough probably to pay his bills.
Who cares? Can we just keep going, please?
You threw me with the me. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Those natives were cheap, I imagine.
It was from Robin Hood, the cartoon.
No, we're not talking about that.
Well, we were.
No, we're not.
Okay, well, I said it.
Anywho,
So she meets with the captain, the colonialist captain, who's like
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest douchebag ever.
yeah.
And they show the spider tattoo, which is the weirdest thing because every time somebody sees the spider tattoo, it like stops the entire scene. And it's like, we have to go to another scene.
And it's like they say Ben Chang or something. Like, it doesn't sound like it's
The
a pirate.
Sang
It-
Dynasty or
Okay.
something.
Weird.
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Brotherhood.
Okay, it
I
sounds
thought
like
he was
Ben
Brotherhood.
Chang.
I
Ben
thought he
Chang.
was saying the same.
The same.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
it's
it
like
sounded-
the same pirates I'm looking for.
That's hilarious.
I thought it was the
What?
Seine. Like the river.
Sang Brotherhood.
I thought it was like the river Seine.
If it was Ben Chang, that would be so much better. And then everything was a pun off of Chang.
It's been long enough. They can
Changnesia?
remake the movie.
We're gonna have to Chang directions.
So he's like, no, you got to go back to New York, Missy. And she's like, no, I've worked so hard. I'm going to come and stay here and find out more. And he's
Yeah.
like, nope, you're going back to New York. And he like leaves and the captain's like, nobody argues with the Phantom and wins.
Oh my
really
God, who
weird.
cares?
Goes
I don't
back to
remember
New
any
York.
of this shit.
She goes
Yeah,
back to New
good.
York.
So anyway,
But then-
but he follows her back
Yeah,
to New York.
so we get like the fish out of water story, like Crocodile Dundee. Now he's going to New York in his purple suit. And
But
I'm like,
this is where
yeah.
it's dumb. And so he hands the cab driver his Belengalese money, but the cab driver obviously won't take it. And he's a character actor too. He was in everything.
Yeah.
And he won't take his money. And so then he hands him a pocket full of gemstones. Like he didn't understand how much the gems were
Yeah.
worth because
This
he'd never
guy's-
been to America.
Yeah,
or
this guy's
to-
kind of dumb.
And
I
you
mean,
find out he's been to America
and went to
before
like
'cause-
business school.
Yeah.
and that's how we know is the fucking Palmer girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Well, I mean, he wasn't he didn't study gems.
So
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
So,
So yeah,
you
now he's
went to
got
school
this
in New
caddy
York.
on retainer.
Do you know how much 2 rubies and a sapphire are worth?
I know that I don't want to give him to my cabbie for a ride uptown.
Wasn't that from like Coming to America or something? I feel like I've seen that before
yes,
somewhere.
yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes, they
And-
stole so much shit.
Yeah. And they look like the cheapest gems ever.
Hey,
like
wasn't that
costume
guy?
jewelry.
Wasn't that guy the cab driver in Beetlejuice? Wasn't the cab driver?
No, that was David Johansen.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of Scrooged. Beetlejuice.
Isn't there a cab driver? No, maybe it's
I'm thinking of Scrooged.
maybe it's Scrooged. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Sure, it's not Buck Rogers.
Now, John Capodice. John Capodice is the cabbie, and he
Sure,
was.
it's not Capodice.
It could be. He was an Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Independence
How about
Day.
you roll these Capodice?
He was in
Oh.
Speed. He played. I think he played the bus driver in Speed.
The bus driver, because I picture him in a hat like that. Like that's the only
Driving.
way. Driving.
Yeah.
It's like hello.
But this is very much like the Shadow movie with
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, but he had a cabbie on retainer also.
With a handful of jewels.
No,
the Shadow.
had,
He
like,
just had it on
blackmail
return.
him.
Oh, yeah, blackmail. Because he was the shadow.
He saved his life, and he's like, now your life belongs to me.
My dad used to quote the radio show because he said,
My
no one
grandpa.
knows. The shadow knows.
I've listened to the radio show. It came out on tape, and I listened to all those when I was working, and I could just listen to audio cassettes, and I did all the Shadow.
That's fun. I bet that was more. Did you see the movie?
Oh, of course, I own the movie.
Oh, you do? The Redacted, I think you might be a spy. Or the Shadow.
But I've never seen The Phantom.
Oh, well.
Oh, man.
You definitely need to rent this now. I think we're definitely sending you home with this today. So he gets back to New York. They know each other. It's his secret Kit Harington fucking alter ego. And nobody knows that he's actually the Phantom, which is so dumb. And then she gets in the car with him and does what?
You know how Clark Kent kind of acts like a nerd and kind of changes his voice when he's not Superman?
Yeah.
Billy Zane doesn't do any of that. He sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, but Christy Swanson catches on because he says something and he's like, she looks at him sideways like, oh, wait a minute. That sounds familiar. So
And she figures it out at the end of the movie. She says his real name, and he's like, oh, hey.
But he is in love with her. Catherine Zeta-Jones said so. Anyway, they have to find 3 skulls and put them all together to get some power because that's what the Chang Brotherhood is about.
Yeah, they want to rule the world, and this thing will make them powerful. And so they.
And once you have the 2 heads, they'll point the way to the 3rd head. So
If there's a map in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they go after the heads.
So they got the first skull in the beginning. The second skull is at the museum in New York, in which case Billy Zane as Kit
Harington.
Walker smashes it, grabs it, and then Treat Williams is there to steal it from him. Now they have 2 skulls, and the 2 skulls, when they put together, will show the location of the 4th, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Of the 3rd, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark. So at the museum, all of a sudden, after this big chaos, Treat Williams has the 2 skulls, and they magnetize together, and there's a bunch of weird lights on the wall and weird shit. And
laser beams shoot from the skull's eyes, but they don't look like cool 80s laser beams.
Yeah.
They're like shitty 90s laser beams.
Yes. And there's just so happens to be a map of the fucking world on the wall that it shows, and it's like,
But
okay.
it's not like a map of Earth. It's like a map of like Middle Earth.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird.
Nothing lines up.
It's so strange.
So they go to yes.
It was hidden in the Shire.
Yeah,
basically.
So they go
The
to
Shire of
Mephisto's
Thailand.
trapezoid, right? Like they go to like some made-up Bermuda
the Devil's
Triangle.
Vortex.
Yeah, Devil's Vortex.
And it's in Thailand or someplace like
no,
that. And there's-
Bengala.
What?
But it almost seems like it's like 20 minutes from New York.
Yeah.
Just how fast they get there. And
It's-
it's like, oh, I'm taking a little bag and we'll be
I
there
s- yeah.
momentarily.
I still
everything's
feel
20
like-
minutes from New York.
Basically. I guess, right? So it looks like they shut down Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney World, and they're like, yeah, you guys have 3 weeks to film here, so go ahead. And then they filmed this Lost Island at Pirates of the Caribbean. I swear it was.
It's like Skull Island where there's like a storm or something and all these ships.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's so
disappear.
90s. Like these like swinging on vines and getting booby trapped and shit is like, it felt so very Hook. Like I was like Rufio. That's the way it felt. It felt like weird 90s, like
Very produced and processed.
slapstick.
Back lot somewhere. And it was
Yeah,
just like,
choreographed.
yeah, very clean.
Yeah.
New York City. Let's talk about clean. 1938 New York City was super clean.
And
Oh
lots
my
of cars.
God.
There were a lot of cars on the road.
There
for
were more cars
1938.
in 1938 than there are now, and they were all old, and they were all in traffic jams. It was hilarious.
But the shots in New York, so it opens with like a Kinder Kid shot. That's a comic strip reference from the 30s. Of
Thanks
New
for the
York.
explanation,
Wow.
Dick.
And then when they like pan to New York City, pan across the buildings, it really does look like the back lot of Universal Studios.
It literally looks like you
Yeah.
are at the amusement park.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it looks
the
like
sky is painted.
Yeah,
and the
I
whole
swear to
shebang.
God,
Yeah.
it was.
There's a little miniature building they're moving.
It's really unbelievable.
perspective.
It'd be funny if you worked for the studio, somebody to go in there and paint like a little tiny dragon or something like that, and then you just wouldn't see. But
I'm
then
sure that there's
eventually
penises
somebody
on
would
there.
say,
I'm sure somebody's painted a penis on there
"Oh,
somewhere.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. So anyway,
they get into Pirates of the Caribbean, and now they got to fight the
Chang
real
Dynasty.
gang, the real original
Ben Chang.
pirates, the Sang Dynasty Brotherhood, whatever it is.
The dude from Mortal Kombat.
Dude from
is-
Mortal Kombat,
is the
Shang
leader.
Tsung,
Yes.
is the leader.
What, Raiden?
Yeah. No.
No, Shang Tsung.
Oh, okay.
Ben
Yeah.
Chang.
No, not
Yeah,
The dude
buddy.
I
not
can
Christopher
never-
Lambert.
Oh,
Lambert.
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 Christopher Lambert.
So they get in there.
That could be only one.
And there's a standoff, and they got to fight these guys to who's the worst pirates.
Well, Treat Williams is like, you're the old guard, and you got the one skull, and I got the two skulls, and I'm gonna lead us to the 21st century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just need another skull. We can finish it up.
But then that's what they said. There's a fourth skull.
There's a fourth
What?
skull that no one knew about.
Who has it?
Is
Who
that
has
gonna
the
be the
fourth
next
skull?
movie?
No.
No?
So they get the three skulls. The three skulls get together, and now Treat Williams has the three skulls, and there's a bunch of death and shit that happens. And now he's got this laser beam crazy skull that he can kill people with, and he's sawing shit in half and metal, and he's going after you. So now Catherine Zeta-Jones is buddies with Christy Swanson because
They girl bond.
Yeah, they girl
earlier,
bonds
when the
because-
pirates got grabby. And
Yeah.
she, like smacks them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the girls bond.
So he
'cause-
throws them into some Captain Nemo again submarine at Disney World, if you remember that
Yeah.
ride.
So weird.
Completely.
So weird. Puts him in the submarine.
And says, all right, you get out of here. I'll take care of this. So he fights Treat Williams. Now, wouldn't you know it, the fourth skull is on his fucking finger.
It's the ring that the natives gave
whole
to the
time.
immortal phantom.
Oh, it was like an infant skull.
Yeah, it's a tiny skull.
Yeah, it's tiny.
So now he
That's
fights
nice.
Treats Williams laser beams with his ring laser beams.
He
and
has
you've
a
got,
Harry Potter fight.
he does.
Wizard battle.
Or a Big Trouble in Little China fight.
Oh, yeah.
or Star Wars, where they're using their
When Kirk fought the Zorg.
lightsabers with the kryptonite handles.
The Big Trouble in Little China laser beams were so much better
Yeah.
than these laser beams.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So they have their big laser beam fight, and of course, the Phantom wins.
Well, explain that, because there's
Oh.
like one line, and then like one laser beam's blue, one's red, and they like go back and forth.
it
up and
depends
down the
on
line
how it depends is
of
how
who's winning,
how it depends on who's winning is
how much you
how
push.
hard you push and grit your teeth.
Yeah,
And
the,
that's
the
it.
poop face that you have.
Yeah.
That,
Who makes the
Squeeze
best
face.
I got a shit face wins.
yeah.
And then
And-
obviously Billy's in.
And Treat Williams, who we've kind of skipped over his madcap villainy, because he's like a nice guy until he murders somebody with like a spear
Yeah.
or like this
A microscope with
unneeded
blades.
contraption
But
of a
he's-
microscope with
He,
blades.
right. But he's so cartoony because he's
Yeah.
like he's very dark at first, and then all of a sudden he turns into this
Yeah.
weirdo cartoon. Yeah.
It was odd, and had he played it at 11, I think it would have worked, but it was more like 6.5.
I
so
see
it's
what you
like-
mean. Because I feel like Treat Williams can only go to 6.5.
Yeah, and it just didn't work, and I feel like the director let down not only Treat Williams in his career, but the audience as well.
Yeah. Well, I would say Treat Williams went to 11 in Don't Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Oh my God, that is a great movie.
Yeah.
Boat
'Cause he
Drinks.
definitely went to Boat
Boat
Drinks.
Drinks.
So anyway, Treat Williams is defeated. They make it out in the submarine.
The volcano explodes.
Oh,
You don't have to worry
explodes.
about the
Very
island
awesome
Treat
anymore.
Williams
powers.
explodes. The reason that the volcano explodes because Treat Williams explodes. Because
And
he.
a terrible CGI effect.
Yeah, what happened? He blows up because the beam comes back at him. He
Yeah.
eats his own wizard beam.
He just immediately turns into like stock footage of
Mm.
fire.
Mm-hmm.
No, I saw something about that. If you put a laser beam into a volcano, it makes it explode.
Yeah.
I think I
Well,
learned
that
that
did
in.
happen.
We should sell T-shirts in the video store called Wizard Beam. I want Wizard Beam T-shirts. Defeated by my own Wizard Beam.
But you need the hologram or the renticular, whatever it's called, where you where one
Yeah.
of them's winning and the other one's winning.
Sports Flicks baseball card.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, that wizard beam's winning. Oh, that wizard beam's winning.
So then they find out that his dad was the one that the guy thought he killed, and that every phantom is, dies, and then
There's
just
been 20 phantoms
Yeah.
before him since there has been a
he
phantom.
avenges his dad's death and gets his belt back.
So they keep avenging their dad's death.
They always have one boy child, apparently.
Well, and why does
Maybe.
the dad always need to keep being avenged?
Yeah, when's the vengeance stop? Man?
Right, like does that mean that like every one of them's gonna die some fucked up
Like,
horrible death
It's
that
a
needs to
vicious
be
cycle.
avenged?
That's why.
Only if their kid wants to be a hero.
That's why the natives gave the ring away. They're like, we don't need this in our lives anymore.
That's right.
We want to break the circle.
So like if you're like the Phantom and you walk into like grab a soda and they give you the wrong change back, is that
You gave me a Fanta.
you son of a bitch?
I asked for Mountain Dew.
Now I got to avenge that because that's the only thing in my life that needs avenging. So I got to kill the Circle K clerk with my Phantom ring.
You don't kill him, and you
Oh, you
don't,
just punch him
You
in the
don't
face.
punch him. You kind of backhand him.
Okay.
Because it's only a soda pop.
And it's okay because you're Phantom. You're the
Yeah.
Phantom.
It's enough to still leave that distinctive skull mark
Yeah.
right by their ear.
So it's like
You'll
it's like a
always
pimp
know.
hand.
Yeah.
Like a pin, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
You'll always know this guy screwed me out of the soda I wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you can't trust that guy's got a Phantom skull on his face.
Yeah. Well, we better see about the kids in the back. Think Mildred's okay? She thinks she's mad at me. I got her name wrong.
Oh, hi, Jessica. How are you?
Mildred.
That hurts.
So, okay.
I've been getting everything wrong today. If it makes you feel any
that's
better.
okay, Michelle Belly.
Wow.
You're a sweetheart, okay?
Wow.
So-
Mondays.
Mondays, that's what the man
To
says.
quote Garfield.
So, Jennifer, I would love to rent some movies. I'm returning the tranny movie from last week. It was okay. It was just a little weird.
Yeah.
Training the T-Rex?
And the tea bags.
Oh, teabag.
Yeah, everybody loves a good tea bag.
My grandsons loved it, though, but
They're
You're-
always teabagging people in Halo.
Wow.
Oh,
Those
wow.
kids. That's who those kids are. So, what did you pick out today, Mildred?
well, I don't know. I just go with the colors. This one's nice and bright and violet, so I think I just take that one. I don't know. It's got some weird, crazy costumes on it. Maybe it's like ponies, like men's with pony outfits. I don't know. I'm going to take that.
Well, what's it called?
I don't know. Can you read it? What's it called?
I think it's called Bronies in the Bronx.
Oh,
I've seen
that's
that.
what that
It's,
says. Is that
a
good?
little weird.
Wow. Wow. I'm glad that you read that out loud so I didn't have to.
All right, guys. I'll take off.
Okay, bye, Mildred.
All right, bye.
Oh,
That lady, she rents some weird stuff. I was like,
I felt like you were the one giving her the suggestions.
no, I was minding my own business, and she picked up something men with pony outfits.
Yeah, it seems like something you were like, hey, Mildred, look at this guy with a pony outfit on.
Yeah, I know what that's about because when I was in Thailand, I saw that
In the
all
Navy?
the time. Yeah.
Okay. I was making sure you knew I was listening.
Yes, I believe you. Now you just hate people.
Here, do you want some more of this purple nurple?
Oh, my nurples. Why do you do that to me?
Because that's a purple nurple.
Oh,
That's what that
you're
is.
just as bad as the bartender.
All right.
I'm leaving.
Goodbye. Oh, so redacted. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed The Phantom with Billy Zane and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I can't wait to watch it.
Thanks. We'll see you next time.
I hope so.
Good night, kids.